Good morning, this is Dixie Quilters. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are putting together the Raining Lilies. Is it Raining Lilies? Let me think. I'm pretty sure it's Raining Lilies. Raining Lilies, Raining Lilies. Okay, so we've got these two rows put together, sewn together, and then I went through and pinned all their intersections, because even if they're cut out just right, you know, sometimes your margins aren't exactly right. So we've got that all pinned and ready. We've got these 3 rows ready, and once they're all sewn together, we're going to have a top. And I think the only thing that's left is perhaps, let's see if there's any finishing. No, you can see at the end this just comes to a corner. So then you're looking at quilting and binding as is. So that's cool. Okay, so we can do a little sew along and you can watch me sew it, I guess. We'll spend some time together. We'll turn you around here so you can see what I'm up to. And let's take these rows. I know some of you are much more brave than I and can stack these up and bring them to the table and sew them, but I just can't seem to do that. I have a heck of a time doing that. Let me straighten the camera up. There we go. Okay, so here we go. Will this be in your eyes? I hope not. Oh, a little bit. Well, we'll turn it down like that. Put some glasses on and get going here. We'll do this for 30-40 minutes. Just as a sew along for those of you who are sewing on another project. Okay? All right, here we go. So far, I only had to tear apart one thing. Other than those first 2 blocks I did wrong. Okay, we can increase the speed on this. I had it slowed down a bit so it wouldn't be so loud when my son was sleeping. He's here for the weekend with his lovely wife. And so he'll be getting her at the airport today. And it's nice to have those kids home a little, even if it's just for 2.5 days, right? Wait a minute, let's get this. Ooh, that was gonna try to get off. Good thing I was watching that one. This is a time when one of those stilettos would come in handy. When we're going over these seams. Oh, that is not good. Let's try that again. I won't be able to press this seam open. I have been pressing them open though. Now we're good. Now, how does that go? Here we go. These are a lot on bias, so be careful you're not pulling on them too much. or they'll get wonky as you try to straighten up the row. I already noticed that with row 1 and 2 is that they were slightly off, and so I starched them and reshaped them, hopefully. Yes, I'm embracing starch. Never did before, but I am now. I almost feel like reinforcing the ends as I stop each seam just because they're so, well, they seem a little fragile. Maybe it's because they're all so biasy. Thing got off. I only need to fix about an inch here. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, much better. Now for this one. What are you guys sewing on today? Pretty soon it'll be raining and stormy. You can already tell that the temperature is changing. Now it's actually cool enough in the house to shut the windows. There's a nice breeze. And I can see the trees moving outside. What do you think? It's all in one row this time. Let's do another one. This little tiny one. I think this one is the wrong size. This is that last one that I made. I'm going to redo it. It's coming up short on the connections. And it's the only one that's been short like that. So one would think that it was cut out wrong. So let's rethink this little guy. Where'd that template go? Oh, excuse me, Hannah. Sorry, dear. Almost stepped on her little paw. Well, let's pick this one. This one's pretty. See, I think that this one is, well, according to this, it looks like it's right. No. Yeah, it's missing one seam allowance. That's why. Throw that in the garbaggio. Now let's go back to the directions and remember how to do the diamond. Okay, doing a diamond. We start out by putting the ruler on the solid line on the end, on the edge. Like so. Well, as long as we're doing it, let's do it. So you have your piece, your rectangle. You see it there pretty good? Good. Then you take your hex ruler, and there is a solid line down the middle. That is a key element to this whole thing because it gives you an orientation on where we're going with this thing. So always look in the diagram or the schematics. Where is that solid line? that is what taught me how to use this. Okay, so we're going to put this down on the solid line on the edge there. Allowing enough for the, don't worry about this side. Worry only about the left, making sure you have a margin there. Now the next step is you look at this little diagram right here in the upper left corner, and it will show you that, oh, now they have moved the hex ruler so that the solid line is going, what degree of an angle would that be? Not 45. Well, anyway, it's going this way instead of this way. So look at the picture where that solid line is, turn it, and then you lay it down on the, right there. No, that won't do it. Let's see if we can remember how to do this. The solid line, okay, see this bottom part is the solid line too, and it goes in the diamond shape. So you lay that up. There we go, now we got it. So we line up the solid line that goes clear across at an upper to the left corner, going at about 11 o'clock on the clock face. And we're not using the upper portion here, we're using the lower half of the triangle, of the hex. And then you lay that down on your fabric. What did I do with that? Oh, here it is. And cut this. So the trick is, here it is. The first thing you do, let me see if I can remember now and do it again without making a mistake. First thing you do is you hold that solid line across. Put it on your fabric. Can you see that dark fabric? Let's try a light one. Put it on your fabric. Right on that middle line, that solid line. And we're holding it straight across here. Making sure that you can line those lines up and leaving enough on here to give you a good clean edge. Doesn't matter what's going on over here, okay? So then you cut that off, zoop, zoop. Let's do it. We'll make another one. So we discard that corner. And see, there's our little guy. We're going to put that up there. I wonder if this is reversed when you finally see this. Boy, I hope not. Okay, so here we go. See how that looks? Not this corner. This is the corner you want to worry about, okay? Over here. Perfect. Now, once that's done, then we are going to shift it down to here, and we're going to have the lines going. Did you see how we did that? First of all, we're in the upper half over here in the left corner, well, this corner. Now we're going to hold the little rectangle square straight, but we're going to turn this guy and bring it down so that it matches there. So that this line is going up towards 10 o'clock on the clock face. Let's do it again. First of all, we laid it on there and we cut this edge here. Then we tilted this up to 10 o'clock and brought this down and lined it up on that diamond. Boy, just holding those things there is giving me cramps in my hands. I wonder it is, am I low potassium? Dehydrated? Let's have a drink. Okay, so I'm going to finish cutting it. May as well have a finished one. We won't need it, but now we can choose whichever one we want. This one or that one. I hope that was clear as mud. Okay. Now, where was that I was supposed to put that? Okay, here is our beginning portion that we did. And this is row 5. I must have started sewing it from the right-hand side, because that's the sequence. A triangle, an inverted, and a white triangle. And then the next one is a diamond. Now, do we want to do navy or... I like turquoise. Well, I love those little flowers. All right, we'll do the flowers. So they go right there. Now it fits. Now it's not, no, I don't have to stretch it. Try to stretch it into shape. I hate that. Because you know what that means. It means you're never going to get it pressed right. Ouch. All right, let's do this. Everything's good. Uh-oh, it's trying to slip away from me. That's because as you get to the end here, you're only holding on to the one piece, because it's a triangle underneath there, see? Good. Okay, now it's the right size. Now we should be able to go on to the next piece, which is going to be a triangle. No, it's supposed to be a diamond. I can see that I'm going to have to think this whole strip out again. I may have done something. I may have put it on the wrong end because it's not matching up with the map. So we'll just put a pin in that one. Later. Keep that right there. Now this one is pretty clear cut and we have an extra there, so we'll get rid of it. We'll do this one more and then we'll be done with this sew along for today. And then my last one will show us the finished product, hopefully. That's my plan anyway. If we don't run into too many more things like that. But at least I'm catching these things before we get too far along, right? I think this is going to be gorgeous. You In fact, I think that my sister is going to get this because she likes blue and yellow. Maybe she won't like green. Well, we'll see. We'll make sure she likes it before I give it to her because, you know, I don't want it to sit in a drawer and then get discarded. Hope you're listening. Do you have sisters like that? I have a wonderful sister. And I've got wonderful sister-in-laws too. I lucked out. I don't get to see the sister that lives in another state very much, in the Midwest. She's a nurse too. Sister-in-law. Come on, you little. Come on. Those big intersections are causing my poor old machine a trouble. Well, we made it through that one. Whatever you do, if you take your fingers off of it, you better probably pin it back together again. You never know, right? I sure like those forceps. Those are from Kimberly Jolly. She's got some good thinkers that are putting together these boxes. Excellent. Of course, I'm used to using them at work. Who would have thought to bring them into my sewing room, you know? And especially since they're pretty blue. I'm surprised they're not mint or aqua like her favorite colors. I think I'll anchor that down a little better in the middle. Just makes it easier. Yeah, this is a nice big seam here we're going over. Boy, these long pins with the heads are so nice. What a treat. And these are some extra fine ones. Wow, those are fun because they really are extra fine. Well, I guess it'll be okay. That's where the quilt police would want to come and speak to me about something. When the sewist says, "Oh, that'll be okay." Boy, I hope these little seams come together in the middle. I've been trying to pin them, but I haven't been as religious about it. But honestly, they seem to be coming together really nicely without tugging or pulling or anything. Now let's see if we can't get that to lie down nicely, or at least a little better. Good. I made the most wonderful breakfast sandwiches this morning with egg beaters, Morning Star sausage patties. They're sort of small but tasty and vegetarian. And then I had regular eggs for myself. And I even had a beef hamburger patty if my son wanted that instead of the Morning Star product. But I think he's on his way, or he might be cleaning out my car. Then he'll be going up to the airport to get his lovely wife. It's so wonderful to be able to say that. I'm so happy for him. Okay, Hey, have a good day, and I hope this was a little bit helpful. Let me know in the comments. Okay, bye. Okay, here is the final on Rain Lilies Fat Quarter Shop, August 2025 Sew Sampler. I thought it was daunting to begin with, but doggone it, it turned out pretty nice. It's only a flimsy, and I have pressed it and starched it, but I'll have to work on how to do that a little better, huh? And in reality, you could have done the whole table runner with some background material and one of the three that they gave us, because when cutting out the triangles, these guys, you could get 2 per rectangle, not just one. So we have a bunch of them in the second pack that were cut, but they are not, there's more there than the ones I took out of the pack. So we actually ended up with 2 full packs and some leftovers. So that'll be a nice addition to my stash. So I just put them both together, put them in a bag together, and then even so it's open, it's still not going to get messed up and lost or bent or anything, I did take out most of the lime green out of this kit, but there's still some lime green in that one. Anyway, so that's it. Rain Lilies is done. Take on the task. You can do it. Learning how to use the template's the hard part. And please tune into my live, because that's a real hoot trying to watch me figure it out. So have fun. Have a good day. God bless. Bye-bye.